Hello everyone, welcome to another Rik Look video. This time we're looking at Everspace, and it's another day in another roguelike. They seem to be around a lot these days. So yeah, same old tropes of the roguelike genre. If you've watched my Immortal Redneck video, or if you've watched my Ziggurat video, you might have an idea of what we're up against here. But essentially, if you're not familiar with the genre, in a nutshell, the main tropes are that you only have one life in general to get through the game. And that's what we call a run, so taking a run at it. And also, there's usually a lot of randomization, so things aren't the same every time you play. And yeah, that's the crux of it, and usually they're quite difficult. That's probably the three main things of a roguelike. So this roguelike is space. It's called Everspace, and essentially I think it's probably best to just jump right in and show you the ropes. So yes, let's go. Okay, so here we are. Now then, what is this game? Who are we? What are we doing? So the narrative of this game is being told between runs, between attempts. So you start the game, you get as far as you can, you die, and you restart, but each time you play a run you might find out a little bit more of the story. And the way that the narrative kind of explains this coming back to life is that so far, and bearing in mind the story, as I say, is only coming out in dribs and drabs, so far all I know is that we seem to be clones, or at least that's what it's hinting at, that the person that we are was a real person, or maybe still is a real alive person, who knows, and we seem to be a clone of that person, and indeed there seems to be many of these clones. And we've done something bad. We're being chased for some reason. We don't know why, but we have no memory of it. We only have very slight memories of things, and the story's told in flashbacks every now and again. Something will happen, or in fact I had a boss fight at one point where a chap turned up from my past who I kind of barely remembered, as my character did, and he was accusing me of things, but we didn't remember what he was going on about. He attacked us, we had to get away, etc, etc. So the narrative is a bit of a mystery, but what I can tell you is that we are always going somewhere. There is a destination that we're trying to get to, and all of the story that we've unlocked so far is all here in the codex, different characters, etc, etc. So we are Adam Roslin. There he is, Chief Science Officer of the Colonial Fleet, and as you can see, he was, I think it says it somewhere in here, yeah, cloning program. So he's a dude who's good at cloning, and that's who we are, Adam Roslin, or at least we are clones of him, I think. We also have this, the Hive, the Human Interface Virtual Entity. So there's an AI in our spaceship, and that AI seems to remember the runs. It seems to remember what's gone on in the past. It seems to know how much you know so far. So there's this interesting story going on where you're a fresh clone every time, but your memories from your previous clones that you've been playing as, that have flown the spaceship and died inevitably, you seem to have those memories. You seem to learn more each time. So there's something going on, and we don't know what it is. And this AI that is in your spaceship, which accompanies you every single time, also seems to remember everything. So yeah. And there's different places you unlock, etc, etc, and that's it. And I'll explain a little bit more about the place we're at and all the rest of it as we go. So in regards to the game itself, now, as I say, if you watch the Immortal Redneck video, if you watch the Ziggurat video, you'll see these similarities, albeit this one's just set in space. So I guess what we do is we start the run, and we can pick a class, basically. So and you have to unlock those classes. So there's 3 classes in the game that I'm aware of. So there is the Colonial Interceptor. There it is. The graphics on this game are quite nice, to be fair. It's quite a nice looking ship, and that's the default ship that you start with. It has a shield. It's kind of a good old rounder, and that's that. You can then also, once with 10,000 credits. We'll talk about credits shortly, but you can unlock the Colonial Scout, which is a light fighter class. I have not unlocked that, so we can't fly as that, but as you can see, there it is. And I think that has cloaking technology, and it's also very fast, but it's one of those ones where it's fast but fragile. And then the other one is the Colonial Gunship, and there it is. As you can see, it's a big fighty tank of a beast of a brute. Not very agile, but it's got a big turret on top, and it can carry more weapons. It's got a lot more health, but it can't carry a rechargeable shield. That's this big downfall of that one. You may notice that this ship is blue and white, and so is this one, and that's because I get to pick the colour of my ship, and blue and white is one of my favourite combinations, so that's why. So today we're going to play as the Colonial Interceptor, because that is the default ship that you would start with if you were to pick up this game, so you may as well see that in action. Now, what we also have is we have the setup, and you can't really change a lot on this. Oh, whoops, sorry. You can't really change a lot on this. This is your standard setup. As far as I know, this cannot be amended. I could be wrong. Maybe something will change down the line. I don't know. But right now, you always start with the pulse laser. You always start with the Gatling gun. We always start with light missiles, with a shield, a weapon overdrive, and a shield booster. So you always start with that if you're going to start with a Colonial Interceptor. If we move on to the gunship, you can see they've got different weapons and different setup basically. Now we also have down here enhancements. Now these can be changed, and you get these enhancements. I think you either collect them within a game, within a run, and then they are persistent between runs. So I collected this energy capacity, this 5% more energy capacity enhancement at some point within playing the game, and it's there for me to use now. As you can see, there's all these others which I have not yet to pick up, and what you can do is you pop it in the enhancement section here, and as you can see there are another couple of slots here for further enhancements. Now what it's saying here is that you need to upgrade your enhancement slot perk to unlock more slots. So if you look to the perks, you have all of these different perks, and you spend credits on these perks, and these perks are persistent between runs. So we set off, we fly, we have fun, we collect credits, we do the best we can, we try and get to the end game, we're trying to get to our destination. That's all the game calls it, just the destination. We're trying to get there, and as we collect credits, once we explode and die inevitably, or at least inevitably at the minute, those credits are then here for me to spend, and I can spend them on upgrades, and those upgrades then are persistent through the next run, and so forth, and so forth. And essentially, I guess the idea is that you get stronger and more capable the longer you play, because you should be collecting credits as you go and upgrading stuff as you go. Now, my only bugbear is that it would seem that each spaceship has a different perks tree. So as you can see, I've unlocked 10 energy capacity of the energy capacity, and the energy core. I've upgraded that 10 times, upgraded this 3 times. But if we go over to the gunship, nope, I've only got a couple because I've only done a little bit. So sadly, I don't know if you need to kind of double down and commit to a ship. I don't know if that's the best strategy, so that you're constantly just upgrading one craft all the time. You know, I guess you pick your favourite and go with it. So that's it. And of course, I've spent the most time with this ship because it's the default ship. And I only unlocked the gunship recently, so that's why my most upgrades are here. But that's the perk system anyway, and there's several different things that you can get, and I won't necessarily explain them because you really need to see the game to understand them a bit more. And you got your stats, etc. Now within each run, you have a certain challenges that you can do, and they're a bit silly, like destroy 30 floodlights, so that there are spaceships and things that have just got lights on them, and if you destroy them, things like that. You can see the game stats, etc. So yeah, current run because we haven't started yet. Highest sector reached is 3, blah 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 blah. So, and there are also blueprints, and these will become apparent later when we get into the game. And again, these are collectible within the within a run. So let's stop talking. Let's get into it. So, as I say, we are trying to get somewhere. We start at one point, and we're trying to get to another point. So here we go. Now then, we get to select difficulty. For the time being, I've been playing on easy because roguelikes are notoriously difficult. I did play normal for a while, but I found I wasn't able to really learn the game because I was just dying a bit too quickly. So I put it on easy, which does mean you get 25% less credits, but once I'm a bit more comfortable with the game, I've been playing it for roughly 4.5 hours now, and I'll probably just upgrade to normal so I can get more credits and upgrade my spaceship a bit quicker. You do get more details. On easy you get less credits, lower threat levels, you see more resources. The Oka, Armada and warships arrive later, I'll explain that. More traders, service stations, blah blah blah, as you can see. And you can see hard that you get more credits for your trouble, but things are a lot more difficult, and then normal's normal. So yeah, that's really it. So we are going to play in easy, just so you can see more of the game, more of the environments, so I don't just die straight away. You can see a bit more of it. I think that's probably a good idea, because we are trying to show off the game after all, or trying to show you the game. That's the whole point of a Rik Look video. So here we go. So first things first, we come straight out of warp. So we've come from somewhere, and that's what we don't know. And here we are now. As you have probably already seen, this is a pretty game. This is a very pretty game. There is no getting away from it. Space games these days just look good. Okay, so this is our spaceship. Now I'm controlling this with a keyboard and mouse. This isn't with a joypad or a joystick or anything like that. You've got WASD as normal, so forward, backwards, strafe left, strafe right, and I actually turn with the mouse. So you can see the mouse pointer there. If I go over here, and that's how we do it. Now we also have a boost with the shift key. As you can see, you go a bit quicker, and you shoot by it shoots where the mouse pointer shoots. So as you can see, so you actually aim with the mouse pointer. So in that way, you know, you're not having to line up the front of your ship against an enemy or anything like that. It actually shoots to where your crosshair is. Okay, so what do we do? So we're in a sector now. Now, as I mentioned earlier, very briefly, we've done something. We don't know what it is. The story hasn't made it clear why, but we are being chased. Now, this area here that we are in, this part of space, the entire game is set in something called the Okkar demilitarized zone. Now, the Okkar are an alien race which the humans, or the colonials as they're called in this, got into a bit of a war with. Apparently it's all a big misunderstanding. Sorry, I didn't mean to shoot then. It's all a big misunderstanding, but ultimately it was a devastating war, and they finally sat around the table and drummed out a peace because they were equally matched. And part of that peace was that they created a buffer zone between the colonial territory and the Okkar territory, which is called the demilitarized zone, which of course is supposed to be demilitarized. Now what it actually is you have this company over here, these yellow ones, G&B. I can't remember what G&B stands for, but essentially a corporation, and they've been given mining rights to the demilitarized zone. So you will see neutral G&B craft going about their business, doing what they want to do. They have their own fire escorts, etc. This is also a big, nice home for outlaws, which are your pirates and scoundrels and, you know, bad people. So outlaws hide out here as well. And you can see there's a fight going on between the G&B and the outlaws there, because the outlaws, they're not just after you or anything, they're doing their own thing. Now, as I was touching on originally, before I went into all that, the Okkar, you've done something wrong, we don't know what it is, and the Okkar are chasing you. So if you hang around in this area for too long, the Okkar will turn up in force and attack you. So you can't necessarily hang around for too long. Now we're playing on easy, so you get quite a lot of time. On normal, you don't get as much time, and the Okkar are quite tough. You know, they're not to be meddled with. Okay, here we go. Here's a let's deal with this. Try and explain the combat a bit better in a moment when I actually pick a fight. So credits, we talked about that, and then also whenever you may as well talk about this now. Sometimes when you blow things up or whatever, you will find loot. So here we have a shield. So this is what we've got equipped now on the left hand side. This is what we can see. Now these plus signs indicate it's been upgraded in some way, so it should be better than what we've got. So we can see that it takes more energy, and I'll talk about energy next, just so you are made aware of that. But it does have more hit points. points, its recharge delay is less, it doesn't shut down for as long when it goes, if it depletes entirely, so it's a much better shield. So we're going to swap that. So now we've got that equipped, and then we can salvage our old one, which gives us bits and bobs, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about energy and how the actual game works and the game mechanics. So you see the crosshair here? Underneath you've got that green bar. That is energy, and everything you do, so boosting takes energy. You can see the bar going down, just boosting along. Shooting your weapons, that takes energy, as you can see. No matter which weapon you use, some and depending on the weapon, it can use more energy or less energy. More powerful ones obviously use more energy, and that is your lifeline. You need to manage that energy, because if you're in a fight and you end up, you know, using all your weapons and you deplete that bar, you can't even boost away because that uses the same energy. So you need to be careful. You need to keep that in mind at all times about that energy bar. It's a nice little mechanic, a bit of a risk and reward, and you've got to keep that in mind. You can get some items which increase the energy or let you refill it as a consumable, almost like drinking a space potion and things like that. But yeah. So that's how that works. In the top left hand corner you've got my shield and health in general, and in the top right hand corner, as you can see, there's a 100. That is fuel, and you spend fuel when you move between sectors, but we'll talk about that shortly. But all I can say is fuel is very, very important. Now this sector here, obviously I've been talking a lot, you've been seeing me flying around, seeing all these asteroids and things. There might be things around here that we can look at, we can find loot, resources, things like that, but when we're ready to leave we just point the crosshair at this green thing here. You see it starts charging up, and if I let that get to 100%, we will boost out of here, use some fuel, which is currently at 100 in the top right hand corner, and move into a next sector, into a new zone, and we'll see what we find in the next one, and that's how it works. So let's have a look around. So what can we do? We can be jerks, we could attack these guys, blow up the resources transport, and essentially try and claim what resources are in there, but obviously these fighters will attack us, and then in the next sector G&B forces will be against us. Essentially they won't like us very much. Now, so we could do that if we wanted, but I'm not going to. We are just going to fly around. So what we've got here, some kind of space station. So is there anything here? Ha! Now my sensors have picked up this, a tech container. Well, what's that? Well, there's some drones. A lot of drones, okay. Get rid of them. So the way that this works is the more your ship has sensors, and your sensors have a certain range. Now there isn't like a line or anything that you can see. Oh, there wasn't anything in that, I don't think. Oh no, it's up there. Oh no, that's the fuel. It's not like you can see the range of your sensors, but you do have a range, and essentially as you're flying around your sensors will pick things up and draw them on your HUD as blue circles, such as that blue circle on the left hand side there, which is that fuel that we saw before. Now there doesn't seem to be a great deal in this sector. Oh, there is a asteroid over here. Let's see what's down here. Let's see if this is something we can get. Now you can collect resources, as I say, ore, scrap, crystal, dark matter, plasma, all sorts of different resources are available, and you can use those resources to build things. Aha, here we are, that's what's in here. If anything, maybe nothing. My sensors aren't picking anything up. Oh, let's just pick something up. Right, there's a container down there, so... And then, seeing as we're flying through there, I'll just show you some of the other view modes we've got. So we have the external third-person view. That's probably my favourite, I would say. But we also have an in-cockpit view, which is quite cool because that HUD you've got at the bottom, it all works. It's all interactive. It you know, it keeps things up to date, and as you can see, it looks quite cool when you're flying through places like this. You've got this cockpit, and I must admit, I have tried to play the game with the cockpit a few times, but I've never really got along with it. And the other third view, which is the same first person view but without the cockpit, just so you can get rid of that if you don't want it, but I'm going to stick to the third person. Right, so here's some content. Oh, I just had fuel in it, and yes, oh right, see, so remember telling you that you have a time limit before the Ocar turn up? Let's go and try and find this other container, and as you can see in the top right hand corner, and that alarm sound, the Ocar are on their way. Now just in regards to the story of this game. Ooh, nice one, blueprint. Right, let's get out of here. Where's the boost? There it is.
There's a few of them.
Ah, the shooters! Come on, come on. All I've got to do is keep the crosshair on this. It's okay, come on, come on. Let's just boost out of there. Right, and we're gone, we're out of there. So in regards to the story, I mentioned that we're in a demilitarized zone, a buffer between the humans and the Okkar. As part of that treaty, it's actually the Okkar which police the demilitarized zone, so they keep tabs on everybody and anything that's going on in there, which is why they're the ones that are trying to hunt us down for whatever reason it is, because the colonials aren't really allowed into the demilitarized zone. Right, so when you leave a zone, so that's where we started, you then get options of where you want to go. Now, some of those perks that we looked at before tell you you can upgrade your scanners, which then give you an indication of how risky things are, what's there, etc. So I do have an upgrade for this ship, which now enables me to see if there's low risk or medium risk. And these are both low risk sectors because we're only just starting out. There's a medium risk one. I didn't have that ability until I upgraded my scanners in between runs. And you can see down here that if we upgrade it further, it'll also tell us what natural hazards are in there, if any. So we'll just go here, why not? So we'll travel there and we're on to another sector now. As you can see in the top right hand corner, our fuel is now less. Now, and also you get a little bit of a cooldown, so you see in the top right corner it says 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and then there we are, we have another jump drive coordinates, there they are. So we can leave this now whenever we like. Now, our sensors have picked something up, mineable scrap, okay, there seems to be some kind of spacecraft over there, some more corporate fighters, there's some Okkar fighters patrolling the area. Now, you might think that it's a good idea to just avoid everything, and that is, you know, and there is some truth to that, but if you want better weapons, if you want resources, then you are going to have to start fights every now and again, or win the fights that started with you. This looks like a big asteroid. Is it? Oh, okay. I've just locked onto it. You see how we've got a blue bar and a red bar. The blue bar is their shield. Now this weapon here is better against shields. So we get the shields down, switch to the Gatling guns to deal with their hull. So some weapons are designed to drain shields, while others are designed to do hull damage. Works. Okay, that went quite well. Scrap. Okay. They just tell you when you've mined everything. There you go, as you can see. So you just keep shooting at it until everything comes out of it. I've got a couple of the blue circles here. Credits there. Some more scrap over there. Now then, so this game is pretty chilled out, to be fair. It's, you know, there's quite a bit of this where you're kind of floating around, trying to find things, trying to find upgrades, trying to find loot, trying to find resources. But then it'll be punctuated by battles, and I like how there's different factions. There's been a couple of times where I've been being hunted down by the Okkar, and I've just headed towards the nearest corporation stuff, which is neutral, or the nearest outlaws, because they'll start fighting each other, which helps me out, of course, and things like that. So okay, so we were talking about energy management earlier. As you can see, if you look at my crosshair, my energy is quite low because I'm flying around using my weapons, etc. Now if I stop dead, just come to a halt, it charges up quickly. See, it's kind of flashing. So if you stop, everything charges up. Now that red section, if you was wondering, and we didn't cover that, did we? That is some of my things that I have equipped. Just they need energy to run, and in this case it was the shield. So my shield needs some energy to actually work and run, so it was, and therefore it actually reserves some of the bar, so I can't use that bar. So essentially my energy bar gets shorter. Okay. Now we do have some missiles, so let's show you that. So if I lock on, as we have now, I'm just firing a missile. In fact, he's blowing up the missiles because I'm firing it into his line of fire. There we go. Now these missiles are only light missiles, as they're called, so they don't do a great deal of damage, but they are useful for just finishing stuff off. Now I did have 20 in stock. If you look at the top of the screen, you'll see I've got 16 now because I've used some. Now you might be wondering, how do we replenish them? Now you can find missiles through enemies or whatever, but I can also just craft them myself on my ship, which is where all these resources come in. So if I hit the tab key, go to this menu here, and you can see here light missiles. I've got 16 out of 20. If I press this, I can actually just build some more light missiles because I have the resources to do so, which I've been picking up, as you can see from down here. So I could build some more. They merely have the ability to build 9, or I could replace my light missiles entirely and build some heavy missiles with the resources I've got. Now the reason I can build heavy missiles is because I found the blueprint for the missiles. So as you can see in stats, I have these different blueprints that we found as we've been playing along, and sure enough, heavy missile. So this is the stuff that I can build in a run, and this is how you change how your game plays, essentially. Sorry, how your run goes, because depending on the resources you find, you might be able to build different weapons in-house if you've got the blueprint for them. And you can see there's a lot, there's a lot of devices. There's 51 different devices you can find and build, lots of different missiles and things. So these are all the things that I can build because I found them as I've been playing the game. And as you can see, missiles wise, I can build those 3 types of missile, and what lets me do it. So I think you get the gist of it. You can also upgrade your weapons as well if you find the right resources. Sadly, we don't have the ability to do that just yet, but again, because we found various blueprints or mods for the pulse laser, if we had the right resources, I could increase its critical hit chance or its shield damage, and it'd be the same for the Gatling, I believe. Yeah, because those are the only 2 mods that I've got. So that's it. There's that going on as well. Now we've also we spoke about weapons and they use energy. We also have devices which do different things. So these, the shield is always on, like we spoke about. That's using some energy. As you can see, it's an energy allocation. It's a passive, so I don't have to do anything. But then we've got weapon overdrive. That's an active device. Now if we go back to the game, you see at the top of the screen you've got weapon overdrive. If I hit the R key, it will overdrive my weapons, and that's just a cooldown. It doesn't use any energy, doesn't use anything. It's just, if you use it, you can't use it again for a while it recharges. On the other hand, you've got the shield booster over there, and that is exactly what it says on the tin. It boosts my shields, but those are consumables. There's only a limited number of those I can use. You can see I've got 2 in stock at the minute, and I also have a drone override as well. That enables me to override any drones that are attacking me, and I think it actually changes them to my side, which is really useful. So this here is, I think, a GMB fuel depot or something, and if I attack this to get fuel, because I need fuel to get to my destination, then they will be annoyed with me, no doubt. So I'm not going to do that, but you can probably imagine already that if I was desperate, I didn't have much in the way of fuel, then I might have to do that. But what it certainly does, yeah. Okay. So there isn't really much in this sector either that we've detected. We were over there. Yeah, so I think, there's a lot of wreckage around here. And if you're wondering what all this wreckage is, it is apparently the remnants of spacecraft from the war between the humans and the Okkar before they signed their peace treaty and created the demilitarized zone. So okay, let's just move on. There isn't a great deal going on here. So do I go to a medium risk? No, let's keep things easy for now. Note in the top right corner that we have used even more fuel. Not good. Right, so what have we got this time? Oh, these have just warped in. Some outlaws have just arrived. What is this? Some kind of trading base? Yeah, so there's a fight going on. We'll join in. Oh, just fired a rocket. Did not mean to do that. Now you can sometimes get distress calls from ships in the area saying, help us, we're under attack, if we help you we'll reward you. So if you help us we'll reward you. On this occasion nobody's asked for any assistance. Right, okay, so I think that's the fight over. The corporate fighters are able to deal with most of that really, I just helped out. So, here we have some kind of trader. And what you can do is you can actually fly inside. Let's see what they got. So it's a repair station. Okay, well, we have nothing to repair, so fine. Haven't took any damage. Now again, there's a container that will contain some goodies, but if I open that container, if I shoot that container, the G&B crafter in this area will engage me. Some fuel there, we need fuel. So again, I'm going to try and keep the G&B guys on side. Although I did just crash into him, has that just made it? No, they're still on our side. I wondered then. Right, so it's some Okkar. Get rid of that drone. Right, let's deal with this guy. We're just circling each other here. Awesome. Oh, what's that? Arc 9000.
Credits. Better value by weight.
Secondary weapon. This devastating weapon will annihilate almost anything with a certain radius around the projectile. Caution is advised as we charge for fires. I've never seen that before. Shall we take it just because I haven't seen it before? So I just scrap my light missiles there. With the drone override. So you can see we've got one drone override in stock, top right hand corner, that was just what we started with, but there's another one just floating around here, so we've got two now. So like I say, you can pick up consumables, or you can actually build them. Let's go and get this compound. Again, this is, compound is resources, plasma field up here. You literally fly into it and your ship does the rest. Starts collecting it. 2 new items can be crafted. So what's that then? So that's the stuff. Shield. No, I don't want to place the shield, so yeah. Nothing we want to do there. Okay, now these things, they spit out resources, which everyone seems okay with you just taking. So we will. We'll do a plasma field down here. So far things are going quite well. As I say, we are playing on easy, so things are a little bit more relaxed, to be fair. If we're playing on normal, we wouldn't have as much time to just fly around and do what we want to do. As I say, I wanted to give you the best opportunity I could give to show you all the different environments and levels, and just to show you as much of the game as I possibly can in this one run, really. So what's in here, if anything? And the scanners haven't picked anything up, so that would suggest there's not really a great deal in here. Yeah. Shall we head on? Should we move on? I could really do with some fuel. And I might not have explored these areas, of course, sorry, I wasn't paying attention, as well as I could do, but again, you know, it's a quick look video. There's a certain amount of entertainment. So we're here, as you know, as you can see by the symbol, and we've only got one place we can travel to, which is here, and that's where the jump gate is. So we're going to go through a big jump gate, which will fire us into the next sector, and things ramp up, things get harder as we go. So there's the jump gate, we just fly into it once we're ready to leave. There's a trader. I'm gonna have a chat with him. There's a big asteroid there, let's go and see if there's anything over here. Now, what I will say for this game, and in fact any roguelike that has difficulty levels, all roguelikes should have difficulty levels as far as I'm concerned. I just started going down by accident there. Because not everybody wants to play roguelike games. Or, yes, they're hard by definition, everybody knows that. Well, you know, if you know the genre, you should know that. But that doesn't mean that everybody has all the time in the world to get good at them. Sometimes we need a shortcut, and that's where easy modes come in. And there's a lot of roguelikes out there that don't do that. Just don't provide an easy mode. Or a beam laser. That's some kind of mining equipment. Nah. It's not a weapon, that's some kind of mining thing that they've got going on. There was a scrap going on here, but I think it's resolved itself. Oh no, that's some. There we go. Oh, we're held to it. So what's this beam laser all about? Let's have a look. Okay. So, compared to my pulse laser, it does more hull damage but less shield damage, uses less energy, only by very little, and it has less range compared to the Gatling gun. Has more range. This hull DPS is about half though. I think we'll stay with what we've got. I'll just salvage it. Okay, right, yeah, so again, we have, oh, fuel, I need fuel. Need to go and avoid that trader in case he's got any fuel. So there's gel. Again, that's just resources. Now you see how these are glowing yellow? That's because they are full of goodies. So the yellow ones are full of goodies, but if I attack this, again we're going to annoy the G&B Corporation. Which I don't think I want to do. Not yet, anyway. So let's just go and find the rest of what we can. And then maybe jump out. I can't see what they've got over there, but there's some crystal or something in here somewhere. There it is. Crystal. No, the crystal go. What's that? Okay. Ore, mine of ore. So we get these resources, always useful, especially later on. And as I say, I think this game is a lot more intense on difficulty. But after getting my face handed to me a number of times when I first started playing, I did switch it down to easy. I've been playing on that for a while. As I say, I've only played it for 4 hours and I get the feeling that there's a lot to this game. I'm just going to have a word with that trader because he might have some fuel. Some plasma. Okay. And what I might do, just for the sake of, you know, for the video, so you can see I might play the next sector in first person. See how we get on. Has he got any fuel? No. He's got energy injectors though. They're quite useful. You know what, yeah. I'm gonna get some energy injectors. which will increase that green bar that we have underneath at short notice if we ever find ourselves with it. So I'm going to get rid of the shield boosters. And then let's buy the energy abilities. Okay. Let's go take out these outlaws in case they're carrying any weapons. Let's do this one inside so you can experience some of that. I don't know, I've seen some people swear by this view because it is a bit more immersive, let's be honest. What's that over there? Some kind of shooting star or something. Fuel! Ooh, what do you fuel? Whoa! It is quite cool, to be fair. I'm not saying it isn't. I just prefer it to third person.
Intercepted.
Beam laser again. Where'd it go? That's the fuel. There it is. Yeah, so we've seen that before. Let's just salvage it. Okay. Whoa, what's that? So the main advantage of third person view, of course, is that you do have a lot more awareness of where attacks are coming from. And where the bad guys are. I wonder if that was a turret. There's a container over there, there's somebody shooting at me. Must be a turret because I can't see a speed that way around. Power cell, again, that's just resources. Whoa, I'm under attack again. Shoot at me now. Whoa, that's an asteroid. Where are you shooting me from? Oh, there. Okay. So as you can see, it's cool playing in first person. It's a little bit harder, to be fair. Anything in there? No. We've got some more fuel, which is useful. It's around 68 fuel now. You can see that's on the dashboard rather than in the top right corner where it normally would be. Then we're on this internal view. More fuel. Some dark matter as well. It's quite rare, dark matter, I think. She was reserved for some more powerful blueprints she can build. Okay, dark matter. Right, let's head for the jump game. Off we go, on to the next sector. Which will be more difficult. And the game gets more difficult as you get closer to your destination.
Freighter has found itself stuck in a hazardous minefield and requires your assistance.
Okay, so these are these missions that I was telling you about, that every now and again you get a distress call or something along those lines. Right, well where's the... so I can see the mines, are these red flashing dots. Oh, there it is, right, okay. It's under attack as well. A lot of mines around here, so I'll try and deal with this. A bit more scout. Damage limiter. No. Scrap that. Right, let's try and deal with these outlaws before we help our merchant friend. Because they might be carrying goodies. No credits, that's goodies. Fuel, always good. Right. Airborne drone. It's all the way over there though, so where's our friend? So he needs me to clear out the mines, eh? Okay. Oh. There's only that
A
one,
payment
was it?
has been deposited with you by way of
credits.
reward for your assistance.
Oh, you're welcome. He's a bit damaged. Why is he boosting out? It looks like he's whopping out. Sounds like it anyway. We've cleared that mine for him. Off he goes. Oh, well, it just kind of disappeared, didn't it? I think it would have been nicer if it had a bit more of a like graphical effect for that, but fine. Okay, so this is some kind of wreck here. See if our scanners pick up anything. Sounded like it. Some mineable ore. What's that drone? Oh, is it coming in? Three new items can be crafted, really. Anything? Don't like it, does it? Can I squeeze through you? Maybe if we go that way. You can roll with the Q and E keys on the keyboard. But there is an option in the options that lets you do tick box or auto roll, which is why I have. So most of the time the ship kind of rights itself, and it usually gets it right for the way that I want to be facing. But you can just manually override it anyway. Okay, so let's switch back to third person. So the game handles. Did I mine all the armor student? The game handles the controls wise very much like a first person shooter, really, that you would normally have on a PC. Ooh, container. Ooh, wow. It's full of credits. Winner.
Straight into the account.
Winner chicken dinner. Oh, there's another one. Fusion blaster, I wonder what that is. Because of its relatively low range and speed, so it's almost like a shotgun. It's like a space shotgun. It does a hell of a lot of damage. I must admit, we do get quite close to these people when we fight them. A heck of a lot more shield damage than the pulse laser. Yes, sod it, let's do it! Let's swap. So that's what the fusion blaster looks like, okay. Is there anything else in here? Oh, there is. Light missiles. Well, now we've got our Arc 9000, which we haven't tried yet. We'll salvage them. Get some more resources. So what can we build? Oh, we can upgrade things. So we can upgrade our fusion blaster to do even more shield damage. Or the Gatling to do more shield damage or a critical chance. Too moderate critical chance. Let's double down on the fusion blaster. Ooh, another container. Ooh, nanobots. So nanobots, you haven't seen these before yet. Haven't had cause to use them yet, but nanobots are what the game's what you use to repair your ship. So it's like health potions for all intents and purposes. fusion blaster's quite good. They're destroying asteroids, at least. Right, let's get out of here. Let's move on. Oh, hang on, what's in here? So let's get out of here. Is there something going on in here? Let's switch to cockpit view. Some kind of container. Another fusion blaster. Well, we can salvage it. It should be exactly the same. No, no, ours is better. I know we've upgraded ours, but ours is better. This one's got more range. Ours is still better, I think. Let's salvage it. Get out. Right, okay, now we'll leave. Now you can, in between runs, upgrade your scanners so you see more. Also, every now and again you'll come across a comms tower which you can hack into, which then reveals everything in the area that you're at. It's got medium threat there, medium risk. Let's go the easy way. See how far we get. I think the furthest sector I've been to is sector 3. That's as far as I've got. Service station. To be honest, we're doing quite well. Our fuel situation isn't that good. We're at 55 out of 100. Let's see what these guys are selling. Refuel. Buy 10 fuel for 200. Now remember, if I eat into this, if I use credits, I'm going to have less credits to upgrade my ship in between runs, but sorry, let's do it. I was just moaning about that we ain't got any fuel, so... Couple of containers now, let's don't want to annoy them. Well, they've got turrets and everything, we don't want to annoy them. We don't want to annoy the corporation for now. This could be quite a straightforward zone, this one. Oh no, there's an asteroid over here. Mineable crystal. What's it picked up over there? Mineable gas. What else has it picked up? I know, I'll scout. I just warped in. I haven't tried our fusion blaster over. Let's try it. Wow, that does a lot of damage. It's just tricky hitting them. Switch to cockpit view. More success. Yeah! Wow, this fusion blaster's pretty good. I haven't had one of these before. And there's the Manimal Crystal. Oh, there it is. Four new items can be crafted. Further upgrades. Yeah, let's just do another shield damage mod. Let's keep upgrading it with shield damage mods. Why not? Sadly, I don't have a lot of blueprints. Otherwise, I imagine there's a lot more things you can upgrade with. Nanobots, that's health, which we can use to repair the ship. Right, what else have we got there? Mineable gas. Mineable gas. Is that plasma? Yeah. So yeah, so this is the game, this is Everspace, and as I say, I feel in some ways I'm misrepresenting it because I'm playing it on easy, but in other ways I feel like I'm giving it a bit of a longer run out for you. We'll see how far we get, and if I end up dying quite suddenly and quite soon, which is a trademark of this game, then maybe we'll have a look at normal mode and see how we do. I haven't played normal mode for a while. What are all these asteroids? What's going on over here? Anything exciting? We're really low on energy. I might just have to park up and charge up. What the? Oh god, it's full of missile turrets. It's an ambush. Might be worth it though. Let's just charge up. Switch to third person. I think it's going to be beneficial in this scenario, so we can see where the shots are coming from. Let's just sneak in. Yeah, there's a few containers in there, but there's also quite a few. What if we try a mega weapon? Oh, there's all sorts. That beeping is missiles. Try and blow them up before they hit us. Let's try that mega weapon, the Arc 9000. Let's see what happens. It's just, I don't know how much.
Oh, this is... wow.
Holy crap.
I must say, this does change things somewhat.
Oh, have I used it? Ah, I thought it would. Yeah, it's a secondary weapon, not a device. Oh, I thought I'd have more charges than that. I've just completely wasted that. I could have used it on a big ship, because you get big battleships trying to attack you and all sorts. Let's build some heavy missiles because they're awesome. I wonder if that's destroyed all the turrets then. Yes, looks to have done. Oh no, there's just one there. Wow, okay, so at least we now know that. Again, learn something for the next one. If I find one of them. Just salvage them light missiles, got the heavy ones now. Oh, another shield. Yeah, salvage that. What's the shield then? So it has way less hit points. It has an increased recharge rate. So it doesn't protect us as much, but it will recharge a lot quicker. Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of that. I think I prefer to have the protection outright rather than one that goes down quickly, but recharges quickly. Right. So that's all what we've already seen. Oh, hang on, it's in the container, sorry. Some scrap. I think there's some more resources with that mineable gas, if I remember. Gas. What was that? Was it some scrap or something around here? Where are you? Where are you? There it is. Right, so let's go and get that mineable gas, and we'll get out of here before the Orca turn up. So as I say, from my experience on easy, we have the luxury to kind of fly around and collect all this stuff. Ah, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze then. That's why I went quiet and stopped. That's my feel. Whereas on normal, you don't always have the option to float around and pick out everything because the Orca will turn up. Again, don't know why they're chasing us. We might get some more story on this run, you never know. It's kind of happened, I don't know if it's happening randomly or if I'm triggering something by getting so far or whatever, I don't know. We'll see as far as we can get and then take it from there, eh? Okay. Ooh, this is quite cool. This is a supply transport, so again I could attack that if I wanted. Well, not going to. Mineable fuel now. This is lightning in space here. If I fly into that mineable fuel, when we need that. If I fly into that lightning, I will be hit by lightning and it will damage me. So, best to be avoided. But often, the game likes to place goodies inside that lightning, so obviously it's a bit of a risk and reward scenario in Plasma. Oh, there's a trader under attack there. Let's go and give him a hand. Let's just see what this trader's got to offer. He seems to be dealing with it himself, to be honest. getting onto him. Oh wow. This fusion blaster really eats up the energy, doesn't it? Nanobots, that's Everspace equivalent of a health potion. Okay. Credits of fuel. Right, let's see what you've got to offer, my friend. Shield breaker missile, nothing. Nothing we want. Right, okay. Mineable fuel, let's just recharge. Just one moment, I'm going to put you on mute just for a second. I just need a tissue. One moment. Whoa! Okay, get out of there. What's this? Who are these guys? Oh, it's the Orca. Crap. We didn't get any. Whoa, sorry. Again, I'm having tissue problems here. Run away. You gotta just get this mineable fuel and then leg it. Didn't get any warning that they were incoming though, did we? I wonder why that is. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Now, in regards to the fuel mechanics, so as you can see we've got 80, and as you know I've been looking for as much as I can get. My understanding is that when we warp, we use fuel, as we know, when we jump out of a sector. We use fuel for that. But I believe if you try and warp without enough fuel, you will damage your ship. And then obviously again it's a risk situation where if you're low on fuel, you're just not going to make it. So here's the jump gate. So we've not nearly made it to the next sector. Some outlaws over this corner, they've seen me. Let's go and deal with him. Oh, he's scared. This fusion blast is very good. Switch to combat. I must admit, I do park up and let our energy recharge. So that's where an energy injector became useful. The good news is that when you get to these menus, the game pauses. Right, so where were those outlaws from? That's the jump gate. Can't remember, are they over here? So some kind of base or something over here. Some stuff here as well, is that full of fuel? Just gas. Plasma mines. No. Just recycle those. A thermo gun. Missile defense system. What are these? Destroys all missiles with a certain range while active. Yeah, let's have that instead of the weapon overdrive. I think I prefer that just in case hope hits the fan. What's a thermo gun? Charges up 10 additional homing projectiles and unleashes them at your target. Let's have that instead of the Gatling gun. Let's see what that is. The homing projectiles. Doesn't really do a lot of damage, but the homing projectiles, that could be very useful. We haven't seen that before, so let's give it a go. So yeah, I'm sure you're starting to see the cycle now. That you're slowly upgrading your ship as you go, picking up new items. Things are ramping up in difficulty again. maybe it'll be a little bit more action-packed than normal. When I say maybe, I mean definitely. So we might have a normal, a go at normal. Once we all die horrifically. What the? Right, so you charge it up. I see. Oh, that's different. Definitely haven't used one of them before. I don't know what it was doing, just charging up there, wasn't it? And then when I let go, boom. Right, come on, let's recharge energy. So, that energy bar, that green energy bar, this is why, if you remember back to when we were looking at the perks, this is why I've invested mostly in that, because it's just so vital for everything. It just powers everything that's useful. Obviously your engines, your weapons, so the more of that we've got, the better. Right, let's jump out of here. There might be other things in this system, but let's get out of here. Okay, so we move on to Sector 3, and I think Sector 3 is the furthest I've ever been. This is where I tend to die, it would seem, because it's the furthest I've ever been. Well, so far, no deaths. What have we picked up? Crystal. Anything else? That looks like plasma over there. So that's crystal. Items can now be crafted. Oh, what have we got here? Container. Credits. Credits are always good. Oh, red dots. We have red dots on the screen. Nanobots. Everspace health potions. Right, we're at maximum nanobots now. That's just under my health and shield. You see 20 out of 20. That's how many nanobots we have versus how much capacity we have. So if we do take some damage, we should be able to repair everything. This is bizarrely the best run I've had. And if we get into Sector 4, I might call it there, just because this video might be going on for a bit. We'll see. Let's try this new weapon. Do I have to log on? Lock on. Right, so it's kind of useful. It just doesn't do any other damage, does it? That's the problem. That's well. Blueprints. Blueprints are always useful. Fusion blaster, let's just sit here, recharge, see what it's going to do. Fusion blaster, right now, holy bullets, but I'm alive. Hits. Damage. Okay. So did these guys come from over here? No, that's where I came from. They must have just warped in. So we got this plasma, then we'll move on. Let's get out of here. Does death await us in the next one? Well, that's 3. I mean, that's easy, or low risk at least. That's dangerous. I haven't had this ability to see how dangerous things are, so that might have been a mistake. Oh, it's an elite. Okay. That might have been my mistake in the past, going to areas which were dangerous and I didn't know. Some kind of wreck over there. We're definitely going to have a look at that. So, let's fire. Should I get involved over here? Why not? Well, lots of reasons why not. Why not? Oh, I think that's a... right. If I survive this fight, I'll explain what that is over there in a minute. We should survive this fight. Oh, we're being transmitted. Yeah, so you start seeing different enemies now as well that kind of stop you from moving around. Things like that. Ah! Shield's down. Get out of there. Now the funny thing is I could have just completely avoided this fight. Let's use the drone override. So those drones are on my side now. Let's make life a bit easier. Heavy missile, boom. Oh, those heavy missiles are so good. Heavy missile him. Ooh, an access key. Ah, right, well that's worked out well. So, what I was going to say was, right, we took some damage, so let's show you the repair mechanic. So if we go to repair here, you can see it will cost us 5 nanobots to recharge, to repair full. And you can say to repair less or more if you don't want to spend that many, but we'll just do the whole thing. Now, what I will say, if you watch the ship, if you actually watch the damage on the ship, look at the wings, it will repair now in real time. Do you see? It might be quite hard to see on YouTube, but yeah, that's quite cool. I like that. And also because it's nanobots, it kind of makes sense if they're going in and repairing the ship on a molecular level that it just all magically knits back together. There's a container there. Oh.
I can make use of this.
Ooh, what's that? It's got a star on it. It's enhanced. What does that mean? Why has it got a star on it? Yeah, I think we'll swap it for the thermal gun. I'm not sure I like the thermal gun. So that's where the auto roll is going wrong, because it's trying to roll me around. And it didn't really need me to. Right, so you may remember that we picked up an access key. We picked up an access key when we defeated that ace pilot. So what's this? While alive, increase the ship's sensor range by 200%. That's quite cool, but we'll still salvage it. Yeah, and you can buy those if a trader has them, or find them. In that case, by that ship dropping it. What's that over there? And every now and again, you come across these. Apparently, they're, according to the lore of the game, the narrative of the game, that they are like space stations, abandoned space stations from the war when this wasn't the demilitarized zone and abandoned. And you can only get in them if you have an access key. You have to find the way in. I think it's actually a green door that a door that's all lit up in green. Now usually there's defense systems inside as well, like that. You have to deal with.
Bam!
Shield generator. Well, we can't get to those shield generators, can we?
Enemies in range.
Are they coming up for me? Or are they stuck behind that shield just like I can't get through it? Sometimes you can destroy those shield generators and just get in. Or through the shield bit anyway. There should be a door somewhere that we can use. Usually anyway, I'm not saying that's always the... Ah, maybe it's the shield generators. We found our way to them. Whoa.
One man's waste is another man's treasure.
Okay, so we're in. And normally these bases hold some decent things. So if we go here, missile defense system +1. Alright, well, it's slightly better than ours. It's got better energy consumption, so we'll swap them. And a Gatling 40mm. Wow. So it does more hull. By quite a lot. Yeah, I quite like that. Energy consumption 8.5. Energy consumption 8.1. So this Gatling gun takes even more energy than the fusion blaster, and the fusion blaster eats through our energy. So we'll stick with the fusion blaster. We'll get rid of the Gatling gun, even though that does look pretty cool. Oh, it's so tempting to take it. I'd have to swap it for the fusion blaster though, because I can't have two high energy consumption weapons. That'll be a disaster. Hardly does anything, but it's got such good range, and it hardly takes up any energy when we've used it. It's like half, which could be useful in a pinch. Oh my gosh. Shield is 161. No, we'll stick with what we got. Sorry, we'll stick with what we got. Anyway, there's some more treats in here, I believe. At least there should be. Right, here we go. So these are the doors. They're locked. We need an access key. You can see there's a special tech container probably behind that door. And there's another one there. So these are like awesome loot, or at least usually. Well, as my friend Mike always says, left is best, so let's go here. So we only have one key, you see. It's not going to work with both of them. Like over here now, look. It says access key needed. We only have that one key. So let's see what's in here. Just switch to cockpit view. Scattergun. Special edition of the scattergun does not need to be charged. It has a high fire rate but lower damage than the standard version. This does more hull damage and less shield damage. Never used a scattergun before. It's supposed to be special. No, that was still what we got. That's a shame. That's a shame. That is a shame. Well, we don't have another access key, so we can't get in that door, which is a shame. Hopefully, let's just pretend that other item is worse than what we just got. Right. Let's get out of here. Let's move on. 65 out of 100 fuel. Not good. Forget about being destroyed or blown up. It might be we run out of fuel at this rate. Okay. How long have we been playing? 80 minutes. Wow, this is a long video. There's a comm hub. Right, so I mean, this is supposed to be a quick look, so maybe I won't die. Maybe this is one of the times that we just leave it here rather than wait until I get through and seeing the conclusion. But this is Everspace. It is what it is. That comm hub there, if I hack that, it will show me everything that's in this sector. I just need to get close to it. So, yeah, we've been playing this for 80 minutes now. You know, that's quite a long time. Just nearly coming up to an hour and a half. So I will leave it there. I think that is a good quick look of Everspace. It's a good game. I've been enjoying it. I think it might be time for me to switch to normal difficulty and reap the rewards of the extra credits that we will find. Definitely. So But yeah, so that's the game. This is Everspace, such as it is. I don't think there's much else to tell you. There is a story. You haven't seen any of the story in this particular one, which is probably good, so there's no spoilers. But yeah, there is story, and you do encounter it ever and again. So, thanks for joining me. Thanks for playing with me, and I hope you have a nice day. And thanks for sticking with us. Cheers. All the best. Take care. Bye bye.